Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to get to know more about tools, IDE, and datasets that we are going to use in this course. For the programming language, we are going to use Python. Let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this page. This is Python official website guys. Let's click download. As you guys can see, Python latest version is 3.12.4. If you haven't downloaded Python yet, I really recommend you to download the latest version. However, if you already have Python installed in your computer and you might have the older version, don't worry, it is still going to work. For your information, Python has 3 versions: Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Make sure that you download whichever version that aligns with your operating system. For example, in my case, I'm using MacBook, so obviously I'm going to download the Mac OS version. So let's click this and let's click download. Okay, let's go back to our slide. And let's talk about Python libraries that we are going to use. The first Python library is pandas. We are going to use pandas to read dataset, do data modeling, and data analysis. For those of you who are not really familiar with pandas, don't worry guys, I'm going to guide you step by step on how to use this library. The second Python library that we are going to use is GeoPandas. So GeoPandas is an open source Python library for geospatial analysis. You can use GeoPandas for performing geometric operations, for example, calculating distance between 2 locations. And don't worry guys, GeoPandas is very easy to use. The third Python library that we are going to use is Volume. We are going to use Volume to display interactive map. In this course, we are going to use Volume a lot because when you are analyzing geospatial data, it is going to be easier if you are able to see its locations in the map. The fourth Python library that we are going to use is Geocoder. We are going to use Geocoder to do geocoding. So you'll be able to convert address into geographic coordinates like longitude and latitude. You can also use Geocoder to do reverse geocoding. Okay guys, let's go back to our slide and let's move on to the IDE. For those of you who don't know what IDE is, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So it is basically a place where you write and compile your code. There are 2 different types of IDE. The first one is local-based IDE and the second one is browser-based IDE. If we are talking about local-based IDE, you will need to download the IDE. You are going to write and compile your code locally, so you don't need to have internet connections. One of many examples of local-based IDE is VS Code. And if we are talking about browser-based IDE, you don't need to download the IDE. You are going to write and compile your code in the browser, so you need to make sure that you have stable internet connections. There are a few examples of browser-based IDE, like Google Colab and Jupyter Notebook. Let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this page. For your informations, we are going to use Google Colab in this course, but if you want to use different IDE, it is totally up to you. Google Colab is very similar to other Google products like Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Docs. So you don't need to create a new account. If you have Gmail account, you can sign up using that account. And if you are using Google Colab, you don't need to install anything. You are going to write and compile your code in the browser. So just make sure that you have stable internet connections. If you want to create a new file, just click File and click New Notebook. So you are going to write your code here, and if you want to compile your code, just click this. And if you don't want to use Google Colab, don't worry guys, there is another option. You can use Jupyter Notebook. Let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this page. Jupyter Notebook is very similar to Google Colab. Jupyter Notebook is also a browser-based IDE. Let's click Try. Let's scroll down a little bit and let's click Jupyter Notebook. Let's click File and let's click New Notebook. Make sure that you select Python because we are going to use Python programming language in our projects. So you are going to write your code here, and if you want to compile your code, just click Run. You can also click on this icon. However, if you want to use local-based IDE, you can use VS Code. Let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this page. Let's click download. As you guys can see, VS Code has 3 versions: Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Make sure that you download whichever version that aligns with your operating system. For example, in my case, I'm using MacBook, so obviously I'm going to download Mac OS version. So let's click this, and after downloading VS Code, you will need to install Python extensions. So let's open your VS Code and let's click on extensions. Let's type in Python. Make sure that you install these extensions. As you guys can see, I've already installed Python extensions. Okay, let's go back to our slide and let's move on to the datasets. So we are going to get our geospatial dataset from Google. Let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this website. For those of you who are not familiar with Google, well, Google is one of the largest data science learning platform. Google has many free learning resources. So if you click on learn, there are many free courses available. Look at this, guys, very cool, right? Google has many high quality datasets that you can download for free. You can filter the datasets by its category. For example, computer science, educations, classifications, computer visions, NLP or natural language processing, data visualizations, pre-trained model. If you scroll down, there are other categories like movies and TV shows. What else? Clothing and accessories, economics, NLP, COVID, and still many more. Let's pick one dataset as an example. Let's click on this dataset, retail analysis on large dataset. As you guys can see, the size of the dataset is 27 MB. The usability score is 10, so if you want to use dataset from Google, I recommend you to only use dataset that has usability score above 7.5 because you want to make sure that the datasets that you are using is a high quality dataset. You should also read the dataset descriptions. Okay, so now let's scroll down a little bit. So here is the general overview of the dataset. As you guys can see, this dataset has several columns like transaction ID, customer ID, name, email, phone, address, what else? City, state, zip code, and country. If you want to download this dataset, just click download. And we are also going to get our geospatial dataset from EPA. For those of you who are not familiar with EPA, it stands for Environmental Protection Agency. So this is government official website, guys. In one of our projects, we are going to monitor air quality. So we are going to download the air quality index dataset from this website. Alright guys, I think that's it. That's all you need to know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.